Hi everyone, I'm Michael, and this is Back Alley Bonsai. It's kind of a toasty day here in Los Angeles. It is currently 85 degrees on February the 9th. It is probably going to be closer to 90 degrees today and for a couple more days as well. It's the first heat wave of the year. Very common here in LA. Humidities are low. So it's going to be, got to keep an eye on my plants to make sure that they get plenty of water and do not overheat. Move some of the more sensitive ones into shady spots. Today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be defoliating this Dwarf Schefflera and then making some pruning choices on it. Seeing if there's any branches that need any really major adjustments on them. You can see, I'll bring you in real close so you can see some of these branches have already, or these leaves have already been affected by some of the sun and heat. You can see here we've already had a couple of fairly warm days this year, and some of these leaves have wilted a little bit. There's a couple more here in the back as well that have got the same basic problem. And this is always a little tricky. We have a couple of hot days, plants react badly to them. I still want to do a little bit of work. I just have to be very careful. With the really warm days of this week, this plant could suffer quite a bit if I'm not careful with how I go about doing this defoliation. So I want to make sure that I move it into a nice shady spot with better temperature controls for the next couple of weeks. The technique that I'm going to be using for this is actually pretty simple. I'm just going to be coming in here and I'm going to be clipping off the leaf, leaving the petiole behind. This will encourage the plant to keep this point alive and encourage future growth. And all I'm going to do is just go around each of the leaves and clip it back. Mostly so I can get a better idea what my branches look like and encourage some future growth. Got some very dense growth in here. It's hard to see what exactly is growing where. There we go. This over here is actually a cutting that I took earlier this year, and it's really starting to branch out quite a bit. I don't want to mess with it too much though. I'm going to leave it kind of as it is for now. So now what I'm going to be looking at is the overall branch structure. And it actually looks pretty good, with the possible exception of this one right here, which is growing directly underneath another one. I'm going to leave it for now. I don't really want to get too nuts with it. As you can see, I've done a couple of cutbacks recently on this. These little stub points are. It didn't really do much in the way of branching when I did that. So don't really want to mess with those too much. I think I'm mostly just going to take this point here and cut it back to there. The nice thing about these Scheffleras is that you can do what's called directional pruning on them, where essentially if you look at where the leaf bud is and you cut back to where the leaf is coming out, you will get a branch growing in that direction at the very least, even if it doesn't necessarily split. So similar with this one, I'm going to cut the tip off of this one here and hopefully get some branching out in that direction. This one here, I've got a branch that's going out that way, so I'm going to cut back to there. This one here is, it's okay, I'm just going to cut it back again to an outside facing branch and hopefully get to grow out that direction. But I think that may be it for this. Not a lot of work to do on this Schefflera. I just need to move it into a nice shady spot and get it ready to go. Well, there you go, everybody. That is the toasty February cleanup of my Dwarf Schefflera. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. And as always, have yourselves a wonderful day.